everyone, welcome back to my channel, Paper Therapy with Amy. You can see here Serene Love. It's one of the paper packs that I have been using a lot of lately, but not in ways necessarily that you would expect me to use it. I absolutely love these colors. They're totally my jam. Florals are not always my jam, but I do love it when we can make florals in non-feminine colors, because I think that really helps to be able to balance the being able to use florals with less feminine layouts when they are not in pinks and purples and those colors. So I'm really excited about the layout I'm going to do today, and I'm going to try and accomplish a few things in this layout today. First of all, if you watch my channel more often, you will know that I have bought myself the Moonlit Garden paper pack from 49 and Market. I love 49 and Market, and I feel like this like blends into this so well. So I want to use this sheet. The thing about 49 and Market is unless you're going to buy 2 packs, you get 1 sheet of each. So I have been working on showing you how to make 1 sheet work on both sides of the layout. So if you happen to have this paper pack and you're like, oh, I don't know how to make 2-page spreads with this paper, tune in to me. I have a whole playlist for you, and I'll link it at the end of this video. And that playlist is all about making this paper pack work with your other papers and making it work on 2-page spreads. So I have a 2-page spread today. Another thing I wanted to teach you today is when you go to a crop or retreat or just go over to a friend's house to scrapbook for a while, sometimes you don't have time to get the pictures ready. Well, I'm going to show you today how you can scrapbook a layout and then put the pictures on after. The pictures I have for this layout are from visiting a rose garden in Portland, and the roses are all different colors. So is that going to work on here? Let me show you how I can make it work, because this seems like the perfect rose garden palette here. So I want to show you some of the things that I'm going to be using for sure. I've obviously cut a little piece out of here, but that's not going to matter. I'm not going to need that. I am going to, and it's not the full size anymore either, but that's okay. That's going to work. I'm definitely going to use these stamp sets for sure. These two. This is a celebration special. I'm going to use this is going to be my title. I'm probably going to be using One Fine Day. And I'm probably going to use this script, possibly the textured timber. I'm not sure about that, but for sure I think these two. So I'm going to put those aside, and then I'm going to for sure use these paper colors. This is close to my heart, charcoal. I believe that Pebbled Path would also work. Any kind of gray color that goes well with this. So there's lots of grays in here, so you could get away with lots of different ones. My pictures, I know from looking on my phone and kind of thinking things over that I'm going to be printing them all in 3x4. So I know for sure I'm going to have a grid over on this side, and shocker, Amy's having a grid. That's because grids fit a lot of pictures, and I like a lot of pictures in my scrapbooking. So I have all these close-ups of roses, the colors that I liked and thought was pretty, and then some other things in that garden. So I think I want to do a grid of a bunch of different roses and maybe a couple signs or faraway pictures of the garden, something like this. So that's going to go on one side. I don't know whether I might come right up against here, so that gives me room for embellishing over here, and that makes it possible that this paper can kind of continue through on both sides. And that's what you need to do when you're trying to make one paper work. So start like that. I may have a few more. I can add flip flaps. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do that yet. And so let's just put this under here. This side, I'm going to use this. Now, I also have a picture of me and a friend that I was there with. And that one is also going to be printed in a 3x4, but it's going to be printed landscape. And I have one other photo with the sign from the park that's going to be printed landscape as well. And then I will possibly have a square or something over here like this. So I want this to kind of matte behind these. I may also put some of this dark gray behind both sets of photos, because I find that really marries them together nicely. And so now I need to add in some patterned paper. So in order to make this kind of a frame style layout, I think I'm going to go with tucking things down. So let's just go like this. I think I want to go like this. Oops. It's getting caught on that edge there, like that. And then like this. I could even come down a little more, step them down a little bit so that the frame is a little different size there and there. Not totally sure how I'll do that, but something to that effect, and then have them cut here, right? Like this. And then I would continue, so let me find the other sheet just because that makes it easier. I would continue with some of this over on this side, so possibly like that. And then of course my grid messed all up, but there we go. You can kind of imagine how it still would be. And down like that. Now, I could tuck this actually under. No, I can't. But just imagine it's in like that, and I'm gonna have a little bit of this showing over here. So it'll be like a rectangle in the middle. And then I think I'm gonna use some more of this diamond pattern. I'm gonna use whatever I cut off of here on this side. So I have the other sheet of that. So let's just see how it's gonna look. So it'll be like this. And now don't forget, I'm gonna frame out my pictures in the charcoal. So we're gonna go like that. And doesn't that look nice already? And now I don't have any of the florals from Serene Love. I haven't tried any of those yet. So what I'm thinking for the florals is I might do some banner strips, and then I might be able to do my title on a banner. So I wanna do the One Fine Day. So if it came across on a banner down here, then I could have some other banners just to kind of make a platform. So I'd cut strips, and I'd have one in this and one in this, and then maybe I can find, like there's a polka dot over here. There's this one. Pardon my puppy again. Here, like this. Even just 3, and then have a banner in probably this color. This, what is this now? Sorry guys, it'll come to me. And this banner is going to have the title on it, and the title day will be stamped in charcoal. And then I'm thinking the One Fine, maybe I could emboss in white so that it's really shows up underneath there. So that's kind of my plan for that. Now for embellishments, I actually have these in my stash, a bunch of these guys. They are in my stash, and I haven't used them yet, but it seems like the perfect time to use them. They really match this quite well. Like it's a little off, but if I put it over here. And I think what I want to do is cut out, I've already cut something to kind of go in behind here. And then I want to stamp this with this stamp here. And I already did it on one, so let me just show you. I will show you how I do it too, and I inked around the edge, and then I did a little bit of, so isn't that so cool? Isn't that gonna look so good on there? And it kind of just goes with this scripty background. So let me cut these, and I'll ink around the edges in charcoal because I'm using charcoal, and then I'm gonna glue this all down, and then we can kind of go from there. All right, so this is inked and glued down. Doesn't that just look like these papers all belong together? I think it does. And I'm going to get this one out of the way here. And then I'm gonna work on my flowers. I fussy cut little white backings for these little flowers, and I'm just figuring out which way they go so that when I go to stamp, I can have the writing kind of going somewhat right side up and not be upside down or completely sideways. These chipboard flowers are from my Close to My Heart stash, but often Stampin' Up sells dies that are kind of cutouts of flowers, or we have one right now that's a butterfly. It's called Beautiful Butterflies. You could completely remake this, but with a butterfly, so that in the background of the wings you saw the writing. You could also probably do it through the leaves in the Magnolia Mood die, and possibly the Cheerful Daisies. You could print up one of the layers of the daisies when you go to layer them. So there's different ways you could achieve this kind of look. I'm going to use a blending brush to add a little bit of color to the middle of each flower, just a touch, and I used Mist. And that's the color that I use, Close to My Heart's Mist. And then I am also going to ink around the edges, and I'm doing that with a fairly heavy hand because, of course, the very edge is going to be covered by that chipboard. So I need to really be heavy-handed if it's going to show up at all. Next, I'm going to glue each one of these together so that I have my little flower embellishments created. And the next thing I'm going to create is my title. I have that little blue piece of paper there, and I'm going to stamp the word day in charcoal on there. If you are going to try this way of making a title at home, then one crucial step is you have to dry the base ink. So I'm stamping the word day here in charcoal, and I almost forget, but then I remember that you have to dry it. I think actually I take 2 tries. I flip it over and try the other side because I don't get it quite right on this side. Yep, see, I flip it over and I bring in a little mat. The mat has a little bit of a foam backing on it, and it helps it to print a lot easier. So you need to either leave it for 10 minutes or so, or hit it with the craft heater and really dry it, and then like wave it in the air so it cools back down. You'll see even still that some of the embossing powder is going to stick to it, but it's easy to take it off. So I used Versamark, and I kind of overlapped the one fine over top. And this is the exact reason that I wanted white embossing powder, because white ink just doesn't do this the same as the embossing powder does. So you can see that it sticks to the letters, and if you just flick the back like that, then it'll come off all the spots where you don't want it. And I'm gonna do the craft heating right in front of you so you can see the wonderful second where the little granules melt, and you've got your beautiful little title, One Fine Day. So with the title ready, I'm ready to embellish. So I'm going to bring the layout back into view, and I picked out a bunch of embellishments. These embellishments were mostly from my stash. I also, when I bought the Moonlit Garden paper packet, I bought the laser cut images. So the leaves, the little black leaves and such, are from the laser cut images. And these 2 little ferny type leaves, they actually are not even the same color, but they're close enough. With greens, you can get away with putting different colors together because greenery is different shades of green. So I want to have a little title area up in this area here, and then down by the pictures, I want to have another little cluster, and then on the right where those little banners are, I'm going to have a little cluster there too. I also found this little watering can, another little item from my stash, and I thought what better place to use it or page to use it on than this one. So I'm going to try and work that into this cluster as well. When I make these embellishment areas, what I'm focused on is trying to have a little bit of each color in each area. So that's kind of my main goal. On the right-hand side, I'll have smaller flowers because I don't have as much space there to embellish, but I do want to just pull all that embellishing over to the other side. Now, I don't have the pictures just yet, but by the end of this video, I'm going to show you what they look like on here. And when you see them, you'll see me with a man that I met through my husband's work. He is from the Netherlands, and he is like a consultant for them or something to that effect. And when I met him, I told him my maiden name, and he was thinking about it, and he said, well, what about this person? And we figured out that we share an aunt. So, or an aunt and uncle. He's related to the aunt and I'm related to the uncle. And so we just had a really good laugh about that. And he said, my long lost cousin. So that was when we were in Holland. This was in Portland, and I was just going to go for a walk, and I met him in the lobby, and he said he was going to go for a walk. So we just took a bus together to this rose garden and we checked it out. And another little funny story about the rose garden was His name is Peter, and I was like, aren't these just so beautiful? And I was taking close-ups of all of them, and then Peter tells me, yeah, I'm colorblind. So I was like, oh, well, I guess this isn't as exciting for you as it is for me then. So that was pretty fun. But he did send some pictures to his wife, and she really liked them. So I'm just trying to work a few more little things on this right-hand side here. I'm almost done the layout, and then I'm going to show you what it looks like with the pictures on it. Oh, I almost forgot. And I almost forgot at the time too. I had created these 3 dragonflies. There's a dragonfly on the background paper here, and I'm just going to cover it up because I covered half of it up already with the photo mat. I just thought they kind of fit. So they were from my Close to My Heart stash as well. It's a little mini stamp called Country Dragonfly, I think. And I'm going to have those around the page as well, just 3 of them. And yeah, I just thought they really fit with this little theme. Before I put the pictures on, I want to take these guys off the mats here. And I have a few little banners that are sticking off. And so you can kind of see them as you'll see them in the book. They would be seen in the book, I guess. And I'll show you how these pictures are going to look on here. Okay, I've got everything glued in place. When you do this, you want to make sure you try and leave this kind of stuff loose, and you want to glue it in place, maybe a little loose in case you want to move something around. And then later on, once I've got my pictures on, I'll tuck under there with this glue everywhere and make sure everything is really, really firmly down. So I wanted to show you, prove to you that you can put different pictures on afterwards. And I'm going to do that by putting these down now for you so you can see how it looks. Tuck this guy in here. I almost think these should be switched, and I might do that. They're just on one thing, but I can cut them and switch them out. Maybe the garden on the top. And then the roses. And I wanted this one here because it has the space, but there was a Queen Amy rose in 2000, so I thought that was pretty cool. And that. And I believe I have one more rose here. Like that. Well, everyone, let me know in the comments what you think, if it worked out to create a layout and then add the pictures later. And I'm going to give you a close-up here of everything. Don't forget to like and subscribe and all of that fun stuff. Put the date in there. So I'll catch y'all next time here on YouTube. Bye.